All right, now we're going to shift gears to the Asian theater where the Americans are fighting the Japanese. Remember that Japan brought America into the war when they bombed Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, hoping to knock out the Pacific Fleet in one big blow, and it failed to do so. Now, on December 8th, FDR gives a speech in front of Congress asking Congress to declare war, and he describes December 7th as a day that will live in infamy, a day that will live with a bad reputation, evil reputation, because he argues that while the Japanese and American delegates were negotiating, trying to seek peace, the Japanese were already planning Pearl Harbor. So they were giving false sense of hope for peace. He argued that Japan was deceitful. Then he goes on to describe the attack on Pearl Harbor, and then he talks about lives being lost, and then he goes down the list of other things Japan had attacked. They attacked the Philippines, they attacked Guam, they attacked Hong Kong, Midway, Wake Island, Malaya. And he argues that this had to be planned weeks, if not months, in advance. So the whole time that they were negotiating for peace, the Japanese never intended on keeping it. So on December 8th, Congress declares war on Japan. And we begin to fight in the Asian theater, the Asian area of combat. And there's a lot of ground to make up. Everything inside the red lines, Japan at one time controlled. You see Manchuria, a large part of China. We can see Hong Kong, French Indochina, Thailand, Burma, Malaya, what we call Malaysia today, Indonesia, the Philippines. There's a lot to make up for. And one of the first major battles in the Asian theater was a naval battle, the Battle of Coral Sea, which the Americans will win. And the Battle of Coral Sea was important because it saved Australia from a possible Japanese invasion. It's also important because it was the first naval battle in which the opposing ships did not see each other, because it was a battle of aircraft carriers. So the aircraft would take off from their ship and then fly to the enemy and attack. So the opposing ships did not see each other. And America won this. It was a good victory for us, particularly right after Pearl Harbor. And then there was the Battle of Midway. Midway Island is right by the Hawaiian Islands. Easy to understand why it was important. And the Americans won Midway as well. And at Midway, America sunk 4 Japanese aircraft carriers. And remember, Japan lacks natural resources. That's why they're called Midway. So when they lose 4 aircraft carriers, that's a huge blow to their military. We can make up for that. They can't. So after Midway, we dominate the high seas. This is the turning point of the war in Asia, which leads to a new strategy called island hopping. There are so many islands within Southeast Asia, we decided that we're not going to try to take them all back. We're only going to focus on the ones that are important and skip the other ones. So you have 2 American forces in the Pacific. One is island hopping their way back to the Philippines to take that back from the Japanese, and the other are island hopping their way, getting closer and closer to Japan.